Hello, everybody. This is Tyler Preston 20. I'm here with two guests, Allie RX and Schizoid, and we're going to talk about this new trailer for Ultraman. How you guys doing?
Sup?
Doing good, man. Just doing my thing.
Okay, so this is the first time I'm gonna watch this trailer because I haven't seen this trailer prior to this live stream. Is this your first time watching this too?
I
Um,
saw it. I saw it earlier today, actually.
Okay.
I haven't seen it. I saw like gifs of it popping up here and there, but I've been trying to avoid it because since you had mentioned that we were gonna watch it, so
All right, let's begin the trailer and then we'll just react. Okay, that was the trailer.
very short.
That was
Yeah.
beautiful. It's short, but man,
Sweet.
that looked beautiful. Beautiful.
Music's rad. Music's real good.
Yeah,
And
Good. I'm hoping that's the
CGI.
soundtrack for the movie itself. Like that's a nice little introductory battle music.
I love the CGI on the kaijus. They look like they're made of the rubber suits. They look like the rubber suited monsters from years ago, but they're like modernized with sort of CGI, and
Yeah,
they look so beautiful, much better looking than the CGI in like American monster movies.
Yeah, let's see that. Yeah, they do look kind of almost rubbery, but like
Yeah,
but still realistic. So they got that nostalgia feel. Um, but I'm just hoping that like unlike other CGI in a lot of Japanese films, it looks good against the backdrop. That's what I always worry about.
yeah. The thing about the kaiju is I cannot recognize for the life of me these kaijus in the trailer. Do you know Ali?
no, no, I can't.
Because there's so many different kaiju in the Ultraman universe that it's kind of hard to keep track of all of them.
Yeah, it is.
Do you know? So I'm not that familiar with when this movie's supposed to take place. Is it supposed to be a reboot of anything or like a new timeline in the multiverse?
From what I heard so far, it's supposed to be like a continuation or like a reboot of the beginnings of Ultraman. So it's gonna probably take place in the modern day, of course, but like a continuation of that original story.
So the science team battling monsters and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Okay.
makes sense because of the original design of Ultraman and the way the kaijus look.
You got the OG look.
So, it looks so cool. Like they really modernized the look, but kept it faithful to the '66 show. It looks incredible.
Could you play it again without the audio just so we can get like the visual of the whole thing again?
Okay.
Yeah, just because right there, this is what I like right here is the science team. They updated them so hard to look like more modern, special agents and things like that. Like they don't have the usual outfits, which are fun and nostalgic. But I think they're trying to mix a little bit of both, a little bit of the nostalgia with something a little more realistic, which is kind of cool.
I love that
'Cause-
design of that kaiju right there, just with the horn
Yeah.
that opens up and like a little head.
Yeah, it's pretty freaky, especially for an Ultraman monster. It's pretty out there, but I can't wait to it shoots a beam out of that or whatever.
Yeah, you guys mentioned about the music because I believe it's the same composer for the Evangelion series that's composing the music, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I heard that too. There's some Evangelion involvement, which is kind of probably why some of the serious tone it has. Like it doesn't have. It looks like it's trying to take itself a little more seriously than some of its counterparts.
Yeah, and it's not just the composer, but also the filmmakers too. So the entire team from the show is directing this movie. It's the same sort of team that also directed Shin Godzilla's.
Oh yeah, well Shin Godzilla is pretty nuts. So
Yeah.
That movie's awesome. That's a terrifying Godzilla, man. I know there's like mixed reviews about that Shin Godzilla movie, but the Godzilla itself is like nightmare fuel compared to all previous Godzillas.
Yeah, the thing about it is that when I went to the theater when it first came out, like it's like one of the few movies that I saw with the subtitles because at least where I live in Maryland, it's like it's super hard to find like movies with subtitles, and so it took me at least 30 minutes to finally see like Shin Godzilla. And so when I went to the theater, watched the entire movie, I really enjoyed it a lot. And so to me, one of the stuff that I actually like about Shin Godzilla, besides the outfit, like the well, not really a suit, but like CG of Godzilla, was how a lot of it was like based upon current events because I believe they based it upon what happened at Fukushima, if not mistaken. So I wonder if they're going to use the exact sort of current event stuff that's happening in Japan, but apply it for Ultraman.
So we're gonna eventually. Is this gonna be a serious Ultraman where we're gonna eventually get a Shin Godzilla related crossover or what? Because like I wouldn't be surprised honestly, because Shin Godzilla was like a lot more serious than, like I said, like the tone was more serious than some of its previous
Yeah,
films, and
the
same
tone,
thing with this Ultraman's looking a little more serious.
yeah, the tone for Shin Godzilla to me at least was up there with the original movie. So it's like one of
Yeah,
the first, like one of the first more serious Godzilla movies in a long time. So
yeah, because the original film was not like supposed to be cheesy or anything. It's supposed to be terrifying, and it was supposed to be like a very serious message that it was trying to put across.
They turned Godzilla into a freaking xenomorph in Shin Godzilla, basically.
Yeah, he's pretty terrifying, man. That's what I'm saying. It's
Into a
like
xenomorph.
that's the Godzilla. Like I think when I picture Shin Godzilla, I always think that's the Godzilla we would actually get. Like not we wouldn't get like this like kind of earth protecting. Even I don't think we would even get the Godzilla from the American films, the newest ones. I think what we would get is some freakish thing like the Shin Godzilla if it actually showed up.
oh no, just left us right now, but we'll
Uh,
continue to talk right now. So
I just got
we'll,
DP. So,
we'll
no,
get
there he is.
Sorry,
He's good. He's good.
the mic went off, so I'm trying to fix it.
all right, all right, all right. But it seems as though, like you said, like the tone for this trailer is more serious in comparison to the other Ultraman stuff. But like in terms of availability for like the Ultraman series, like it's been like super hard until recently to find these shows because it wasn't not until like 2019 when Mill Creek started to release all of these Blu-ray sets of Ultraman that we could finally see these older shows and compare it to like what's happening right now. And even with like Ultraman Z, it was like more like cartoonish kind of in a sense in terms of the tone.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
was watching some episodes of X the other day.
yeah, like one thing is like when I watch like these newer Ultraman shows in comparison to like the old ones, like the technology is like night and day. So it's almost like they use the suitmation and the CGI, but they both kind of complement each other when I watch the newer shows.
Yeah. Well, one thing that's funny, I think I was watching because I was trying to brush up on my Tokusatsu stuff because I was going to be on this, and there was this video that's been out for a few months now. I forgot the name of the channel, but he was comparing the '90s Godzilla to the '80s and '70s Godzilla, and how it had little to do with effects and it had more to do with composition.
Right.
And yeah, I kind of feel like that about some of the Ultraman stuff because like I grew up watching some stuff. I wasn't like a big Ultraman guy growing up, but I did watch it obviously because when you're a weeb early on in life, you end up finding other things too. Like the composition was a lot better in some of that old stuff than a lot of the new shows. Like just the camera, the cinematography, some of the stuff. The CGI is cool, but I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me sometimes.
Right. Like sometimes like you could use like the CGI for like the laser beams or whatever, but like as far as the actual Ultraman trying to fight the monsters, you have to use the suitmation for most of it too.
Yeah, and so when they were throwing the animatronics in there in those '90s Godzilla movies, they all looked really stiff, and like they couldn't like actually fight properly, which is funny. So they relied on just the beams looking cool.
It's also interesting that you mentioned about like your exposure to Ultraman because my story for Ultraman is a bit different because I remember hearing about Ultraman through my mother, and she was telling me about how shows like Ultraman, shows like the Space Giants, and all that stuff was actually premiering during the 60s or 70s. And so I wanted to see the show based upon what she told me about what she saw in the past. And so by the time I saw the shows, of course, I loved the shows. And so that's my first start. My first ever Ultraman show was the original one from 1966 with the English dub with like Peter Fernandez, these other
Mhm.
people. And so that was my first exposure to Ultraman. What about you, Ali?
I think the first time I watched it was way back on the Sci-Fi Channel, the original.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Sci-Fi Channel. But I have very, very vague memories of it from back in the day. I was only like a kid. I have no recollection of it. Might have been like the late '90s. I don't know.
Yeah,
And I did watch Ultraman Tiga, the 4Kids Entertainment dub.
Yeah, yeah. That version, we got that really cool version.
right. Because like thanks to the newer Blu-ray releases from Mill Creek, I started to now see the new like the older shows because like I said earlier, like it's been super hard to find like these shows until now. And so
Mhm.
little by little I started to, collect these other shows besides just the original one. Like right now, I have on my shelf Ultra Seven, Ultraman Taro. What
So
else?
goddamn many.
This is like so many, like so many right now.
And they're not all good. That's that's the rough part.
Yeah, it's like really hard, to keep track of these older shows and the newer shows too. But it's like so many, like you said.
I was because I was because I was on Tubi, you know that app Tubi. I think it's like it's
Yeah,
kind of like Crackle, but it has Ultraman stuff on there, and I was just because they had X on there, and I was like, you know what, I don't remember this one. I started watching a little bit of X, and I think I just threw on the second episode or the third one, and he was fighting a giant. What's funny is that he was fighting a giant rooster,
a giant.
but yeah, it was a rooster looking kaiju, but it had like two dangling ball sack things on its head. But I mean, you got to see it. Like if you haven't, he had like earrings that were like ball sacks, like veiny balls, right? And it was a rooster. So I was laughing because I'm like, "Are you serious? He's literally a cock with balls." He was a cock with balls, and it was episode 2 or 3 of Ultraman X, and and then like the science team. I think this is the first episode where the first or the second episode. I'm pretty sure the science team is like reluctantly at this point helping Ultraman because they don't know if he's just another monster. And so they help him at some point and they shoot at the cock and ball kaiju. And you gotta look up a picture of it. It's ridiculous. And they blow up one of the nutsacks and like all this green shit comes out of it. And I was just like, what the hell, man? Like, I was like what are they doing? It was pretty cool, but I was like, they have to know they're come on. Like it's a cock with balls. Like there's no way it was just like a lost in translation, like a Japanese. I can't believe that. I can't believe that they didn't. This is too modern for some memester on their staff decided to draw up a kaiju that looked like that. And then they decided, oh, this looks great. Look, he's so menacing with his ball sack. Like I don't know, man.
Okay, someone said in the comments that we need Shin Gamera.
Oh hell yeah, I'm down. I'm down for some Shin Gamera.
Shin Kamen Rider. Oh wait, there's already a Shin Kamen Rider.
Well, there's a Shin version of fucking everything.
No, but that's yeah. But Shin Kamen Rider was different. It was way back in '92. It's not like the Shin Ultraman and.
Oh no, yeah, that's what I mean. There's like so many Shin. Shin is like a commonly used like title thing when they want to add. It's kind of like Ultra, or like like Ultra X, Ultra Mega Shin.
Shin Mazinger, I think.
Yeah, Shin Mazinger, yeah.
Yeah, but if you can find a picture of that thing, I think you guys might get a laugh. It's horrible.
Okay. All right. Also, like as far as Shin Gamera, that's interesting because we're getting Godzilla, we're getting King Kong, and in the same movie, but like we don't have Gamera this year.
No, we need Gamera. It'd be fucking amazing.
Shin Gamera, let's go.
Well, even if like if they somehow introduced it even to the American films, just throw fucking Gamera in there. I don't care. I'm not gonna complain.
Right, like the only kind of game I think it was like for Japan only. I forgot the title of the game, but it had like Gamera, Godzilla, Ultraman, and these other monsters from Japan into one game. I forgot the title of it though.
Oh man, I can't even remember.
It was for the PS4. If anyone can remember it, please tell me in the comments right now. I would love to hear it.
But it was the official, or was it like lookalikes?
It was official from.
Oh, okay, then yeah. Was it released here in the States?
No, it was for Japan only.
Oh man. Yeah.
But it was like some sort of survival horror game. I forgot the title of it.
All I remember is my entire childhood playing hours and hours of King of the Monsters. So.
Yeah, like the game that I have for Godzilla is just the one from 2014 for the PS4, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was cool. I have the Nintendo Godzilla. I have a substantial Nintendo cartridge collection, and that game was hilariously bad.
Now, as far as like the seriousness of the trailer, like the only show that I've seen so far that comes pretty close to the seriousness is probably like Ultra 7, maybe. Because like a lot of these shows for Ultraman, it doesn't feel to me as serious. It seems like, I mean, sure, there's dramatic moments, but doesn't really.
It's tongue in cheek, and it was it was for kids initially. So
I think I found the game you were talking about. It's called Kyoei Toshi. It's for PS4.
Yeah,
not in Japan.
Kyoei sounds awesome.
Kyoei.
That sounds really cool.
Kyoei Kyoei Toshi. It also has Evangelion, apparently.
What?
Oh.
That's nuts.
Yeah, this is a weird game. So,
it kind of reminds me of those mix-up games. I used to play a lot of them. With the mechs, and they threw Ava in there too. Super
Robot Wars.
Robot Wars. Yeah, I forgot the Japanese name, but yeah, there was like a few instances where they had kaiju stuff in there, and they also had Ava stuff.
Right. Now, of course, like as far as like the idea of this being released in the United States, my personal speculation is that it might be released by Mill Creek Entertainment or whatever, and hopefully we probably get like a copy of that really soon with the subtitles, because I remember like it took like at least a few months or something for Shin Godzilla to come here with the subtitles.
Yeah, it took a while.
Yeah, it took a while or something. So that's my prediction.
Oh, there goes Tyler.
Where did he go?
I don't know, man.
Poof.
This is my stream now.
He went poof.
Yeah, he'll be back, I'm sure. Probably had a little bit of issues there.
It's still live. It's just funny.
Oh, it's still live. Whatever. We can just talk about. Do you remember King of the Monsters? Did you grow up playing any of
that? You mean the original?
The SNES arcade SNK games had like the knockoff Ultramans on there and like knockoff Gamera.
Oh, I don't think I played the SNK kaiju games.
Oh, okay, because it was kind of like how do I put it? It was like a beat 'em up, like a side-scrolling beat 'em up. Like a
wrestling game with monsters.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but it was a beat 'em up. So it was like you would scroll through the screen like Streets of Rage or Final Fight style, and you would destroy buildings and tanks and everything, and then in between destroying like the military, you would eventually fight other kaijus. And one of the actual, you would pick at the beginning which kaiju you want it to be, but one of the options was like an Ultraman knockoff. It was pretty great.
Oh my god!
Oh, there he's back.
I'm sorry, like the whole entire browser just shut down on me for some reason.
What are you using?
I'm using Chrome right now.
That was your first mistake.
Yeah,
you should not be using Chrome, man. You're even better off with fucking anything but that, honestly. Just Brave browser shit. Which one? Oh yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
So did I miss anything when I was like briefly gone?
I was just kind of rambling on about King of the Monsters because he's never actually played the games. So I was just kind of talking about the original beat 'em up side-scrolling arcade sensation that was King of the Monsters.
Yeah, like the only Godzilla game that I played was just the one for PS4. Sadly, that's it.
Oh man, there's so many cool ones. But so you never played King of the Monsters? Like
No, I haven't
it's
played it.
not even a see because it's funny is that it's not even a Godzilla game. It's an SNK game where it was a side scroller and you would beat up monsters. You fight the military and then eventually you fight like almost like a wrestling match the monsters. And sometimes it would even have like a ring, but it would be made up of like electrical wires and things. And it was like a 2D just beat 'em up final fight type game, and it would have all these knockoff versions of kaijus and things like that. So they had like a Gamera clone, they had an Ultraman clone, they had a King Kong, they had like a Mecha King Kong like character that was like it was like a Mecha Godzilla kind of thing, but with King Kong version, he would shoot like banana rockets or something.
Wow.
It was a great game though. It was really good, and it had 2 players if you wanted to fight each other. Like you could actually hop in and then battle the other person in the middle of their game. Like you would challenge them, and then we'd have a kaiju battle in like a little city, and it was all 2D and stuff.
Like, does anyone know if there's like any type of Ultraman game actually?
Yeah,
I don't know any. I don't really know any at all. Really.
there's like there was a PS1 or PS2 Ultraman game.
Yeah, the Ultraman Fighting Evolution.
Yeah.
And Ultraman Fighting Evolution. The Ultraman Fighting Evolution series.
There was another one too where they were chibi. They were like chibi.
Yeah,
it was like a chibi battle game.
Those were on like the Famicom and Super Famicom.
Yeah, they're pretty funny. I know for sure Ultraman was in some Super Robot War installments.
They crossed over with Kamen Rider Gundam in like the Great Battle series. That was awesome.
Hell yeah, that's the best, man. But I remember, like, what's funny is that I grew up watching the American versions as a kid, but then when I got into some of the, the overseas stuff, I was like, holy shit, this is like way better than my nostalgia. This is crazy. Like, I never thought watching the original source would be more enjoyable than the one I watched, because nostalgia is a drug. Like it makes you see things in a certain light, and it still took over. Like I ended up enjoying the Super Sentai stuff much more than the American Mighty Morphin.
Yeah. The thing is, like the first ever kind of exposure for me for this type of stuff was actually Power Rangers, and so when I got the DVDs from Shout Factory with Super Sentai, like I just so much better.
Well, the stories were cool, and the acting was better, and like the stuff made more sense. It was episodic, but there'd be like an actual continuing story of some kind.
Yeah, I got into Super Sentai and Kamen Rider like 2004. It's like this stuff is way better than the adaptation we got in the West. And
fucking big bad Beetleborgs, VR troopers. Oh man, fucking talking dogs and shit. Was that? I've never seen the Japanese adaptation of VR Troop. Is there one? Is VR Troopers just an American invention?
It's actually based on like three different shows from Japan. It's a series called Metal Heroes. They took like 3 different shows and basically.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I think I've heard this. You're right.
What Robotech did with Macross and other shit.
So they didn't have a talking dog, I'm assuming.
I don't.
Telepathic dog. Because I hated that shit.
Dog, but it didn't talk as far as.
Their leader was a dog. It was a bloodhound.
Yeah, like one of the shows for the Metal Heroes franchise that have been released here recently was Just BN. It was released by Discotech Media and is available on Blu-ray to see it.
How's the quality on this?
It's basically standard definition on Blu-ray.
Kind of figured.
Yeah.
Can't do much to clean that shit up. It's kind of funny when you clean up really old stuff. Sometimes it makes it look worse than if you don't touch it. I don't know how old you guys are, but were you around when like the PS2 had been released?
Yes.
Okay, so do you remember when like you would play your PS1 games on the PS2 and you would use that smooth function?
Yes.
And like, it was really exciting initially because you were like, oh shit, my games are going to look better. And it made a lot of games look kind of cool, but it made all your like 2D RPGs and shit look like garbage.
Right.
Yeah, the pixel art is not meant for smooth.
Oh man, it would fuck it all up. Like, and I was just like, oh, okay, cool. That's when I first learned as a teenager, modern technology doesn't equal better. Like it doesn't equal. This is not better.
It's kind of strange because, like, for Sony's case, they have not, allowed backwards compatibility with the other systems for the PS5. They only allow backwards compatibility with the fourth one and not the rest of the other ones. It's the same
Yeah.
with the PS4. Like, there was no backwards compatibility.
Well, it's understandable for in the case of the PS3 because of the whole architecture thing. But PS1 and PS2 should have been compatible on the PS5. It's these are old systems; they can easily be emulated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so strange too, and also
Like freaking phones can emulate PS1 games. They can't. You're telling me the PS5 can't?
Yeah.
I think the Xbox Series X can emulate PS1 and PS2 games.
Yeah.
It's a matter of making money. It's all money. Like if it's not going to make them any money, they're not going to bother with it. And honestly, sometimes it's for the collector. It's actually better that they don't do that stuff because increases the value of a lot of the physical copies of things. You should have seen how stuff started dropping in value when they started doing re-releases of a bunch of PS2 games on digital. Oh yeah, that stuff started dropping like fucking concrete block.
Yeah, another thing that's kind of discouraging me for buying the PS5 right now is just the price of the games, because before it was just $60. Now they increased it to $70, and so
Yeah.
that's way too much.
It's insane because, like, I mean, our literal purchasing power is like one of the lowest it's ever been, and they're asking us to pay even more for our video games. Well, because they know we're stuck at home. We're not gonna. I think the strategy there is like, oh, they'll pay 70 for their video game because they're not spending on anything like going out. So because we're all stuck at home.
At least Sony and Microsoft drop the prices of their games as months go by. Could you imagine if Nintendo did something like that? $70 for years and it never drops the price. Like,
Okay, someone asked us who have seen the Toho Spider-Man. No, it's not Toho, it's Toei Spider-Man.
Yeah, Toy. I was about to correct.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun as fuck. Like, it cracks me up every time, and it's its own monster. And I like that they made references to it in some of the Marvel Universe stuff, like in the comics. They've made multiverse references to that particular Spider-Man.
Yeah, the thing about it is that I saw bits and pieces of that show, but since it's now not online anymore, it's kind of hard to track down the episodes, so I haven't seen the rest of it.
Yeah, back in the YouTube days where everything went years ago, you could find anything, like anything. It was amazing.
It sucks it's never gonna get an official release because Disney, has the rights to shit.
No. Don't bring Disney into this conversation. I fucking hate Disney. Watch the stream. The stream goes out, and the moment I say I fucking hate Disney, it's like it's gone, censored. You don't talk about the mouse like that.
Yeah.
They should too. I've always wanted to see them do a kaiju inspired by Mickey Mouse. That'd be terrifying, like a giant rat that like laughs.
Yeah, one thing I always wanted to see for like a kaiju battle, well, besides Gamera versus Godzilla, has to be would be like Pacific Rim versus Godzilla. That would be cool.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah! But they would get wrecked. I mean, if we're talking the Pacific Rim from the movies we've already seen, I think they get shit on because the kaiju they fight are fucking jack shit compared to the shit Godzilla fights, like power level wise. Like. I don't see them taking it on. And like I keep seeing people do the argument about it's on the internet about the whole Kong versus Zilla bullshit. Like I'm like, what about like you said, what about Kong versus Gamera? Now that's a fight. That'd be insane, dude.
Right, like as far as the Gamera films are concerned, like the best ones to me is obviously the 90s trilogy.
Hell yeah, it's the best.
It's like the best, like well, besides the original one from the 60s, but like the 90s ones. Awesome. Especially number 3.
90s Gamera is Kino.
What happened?
I said it's 90s Gamera trilogy is Kino.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's amazing, man. You can watch this shit over and over. Music's dope. The composition's sick. The effects are awesome. The nostalgia's there. Like, it's all there. Like, the guy just captured it. All of it. It's crazy.
Oh yes, and also like especially Street, like I kind of felt like a sense of like a sense of basically how can I explain it? I don't know how to explain it. It's like it felt like it's hopelessness. Like everything's actually gonna come to an end thanks to like Iris or whatever the monster was, and so it kind of felt really, really dark.
Yeah, and it actually felt like, I mean, you knew he wasn't, but it felt like we might lose this one. Like I was like the first time I watched it, I'm like, oh, is this going to be some experimental ending where the good guys lose? Like there was a legitimate concern.
Oh, there's a new comment. Okay, we need a new Terminator starring Mechagodzilla.
Terminator. That would be so badass.
I don't even know how that would function. I mean, I guess if Skynet produced like a Godzilla clone and like they wanted to do an improved Skynet Godzilla, then you could have a crossover with Terminator. I don't know.
You know what's funny about this is because when I was watching that trailer for the King Kong versus Godzilla, I saw like when I paused the trailer, there was like a small image of like a robot, and so my personal speculation is that during the beginning and the middle of the movie, King Kong will fight Mechagodzilla, and towards the end of the movie, he might team up with the real Godzilla to fight Mechagodzilla.
Oh no, I agree. I agree 100%. That would be the best direction they could take it. It'd be entertaining. It'd be obvious, but nobody would give a shit because it would look awesome.
Right? Like, what do you think, Allie?
Yeah, that would be really cool. They throw in Mechagodzilla in there, just have like them fight each other. Maybe a team up with Godzilla and King Kong. It'll be crazy and chaotic.
I don't think either one of them's gonna die, but if somebody does die, it'll be Kong. I don't think it'll be Zilla. Because I don't think you can keep building the franchise off Kong. You can keep building the franchise off Zilla, not Kong.
Right, like the last movie was Skull Island. Yeah, Skull Island was the last movie that came out.
Cool movie.
Yeah, it was really good actually. In fact, I enjoy Skull Island way more in comparison to the remake back in 2005 because my main problem for the remake, it was not the special effects, it was not the human characters, but it just kind of felt too panned. Like there was too much filler to go to the island to finally see everything. That was my main problem with the remake.
Yeah, no, I could see that, but I guess they didn't want to. They didn't have quite the budget that they did later with King of the Monsters. At that point, they just blew their load all over the screen, like they did whatever they wanted.
Yeah,
that shit moved fast, dude. King of the Monsters was quick. It was a long. It wasn't short. Wasn't it like 2 hours?
yeah, it's only 2 hours.
Yeah, but it didn't feel like it because it was just shit flying on the screen all the time.
It was just going on and on and on. Like
Yeah,
that.
it was awesome, and that's the thing. It's a popcorn flick. Like, and what's great is, I like that the new American stuff is not taking itself so seriously that it becomes a problem. Like, I think it's still really aware of the fact that people just want to watch big monsters hit each other and break shit.
Right. Because the main criticism from the critics and also Rotten Tomatoes, yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes, what a joke.
Yeah, the main criticism from those kind of critics was like there was like too much monster fights. Like seriously,
Too much monster fights.
Monster fights.
Yeah, and in 2014 Godzilla, there was too little monster fights. They were addressing what the King of the Monster was just addressing all the problems that the 2014 reboot did.
2014? Oh God! Oh no! You mean not 2014? Wait, 2014 or 2015?
Yeah,
I'm confused.
2014.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the original reboot, 90s.
Oh no!
I was like, no.
2014 reboot. Yeah,
the travesty that was that movie.
Ugh.
Well, what's sad though is that the cartoon wasn't half bad. The Godzilla cartoon of the crappy movie.
Yeah, it was better in comparison to that movie. And matter of fact, I kind of felt it was more respectful to the source material.
Oh yeah, they had to keep the iguana look, but you could tell whoever was working on it knew what's up.
Yeah. Yeah, but as far as like, the balance between like too much monster fights and too much human scenes, like what's the best ones in your opinions that actually have a good balance?
Man. As far are you talking about like just kaiju movies in general?
Yeah, it could be any kaiju movie.
Oh, okay. Well, one of my favorite kaiju movies because it didn't have nonstop fighting, obviously, but the fighting was so artistic and just I thought it was a gorgeous film. Was Godzilla versus Biollante.
Oh, oh yeah, that's really
I
good.
love that fucking movie. Like I think that's one of the Godzilla movies I've seen the most. Because the how do I put it? The character, the story, the actual narrative about what Biollante is and how it's developing and where it came from and had to do Godzilla DNA and all that stuff. Like all that backstory was so fun. It was so fun. It's so interesting. It was so B movie, and it was actually entertaining. It had a lot of entertaining scenes that weren't monsters fighting. And then once the monsters did fight, it looked gorgeous. Biollante looked amazing. That thing was scary as shit.
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Destroya. That was a really good one.
Oh
Destroy
yeah.
is cool.
It's like one or two times that Godzilla actually dies.
Yeah.
The first one was, of course, 1954.
Godzilla never dies. Don't say that, Tyler. He's never died. That's not true.
Oh, he dies, and then another Godzilla is created, basically.
Yeah.
It's the same soul. It's the same Godzilla. He never dies.
But it's kind of funny you mentioned Biollante because I'm not sure if you two seen the show. Like, speaking about Ultraman, there was this show that predates Ultraman that was made by the same company. It was Ultra Q. It was filmed entirely in black and white. It kind of felt like the Twilight Zone and the Outer Limits, but with monsters. And there was this one episode that was called Mammoth Flower, where it was like a giant flower that kind of covered an entire like building and started to attack people. I wonder if the inspiration for that episode was the inspiration for Biollante and also Gamma 2, because in Gamma 2 there was also some sort of flower scene, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I remember that a little bit with
Yeah.
the flower. Yeah, I remember the flower in the background, right?
Yeah.
The flower that he was supposed to stop, if I remember correctly. He was just supposed to stop it from doing something. I can't quite. It's been a little while.
Yeah, and also I love the suits for it, because if you've seen like the behind the scenes footage about how they operate like Biollante, it's like a lot of puppeteers.
Oh yeah, man, you could tell when it transformed too. Oh, it's so cool. Like just seeing the transformation looks so fucking rad. Like when it went from just that pretty flower to this like hideous thing. Like it was just so cool.
Yeah, because hold on, it's like I'm gonna try to look for like the behind the scenes for Biollante, because the way that they operate the puppets for that one, man, it was so good. It was like crazy. Let's see, Godzilla versus Biollante behind the scenes. Okay, let me try to share the screen for you guys.
I'm glad that oh, okay. Were you gonna play it right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it.
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
I haven't seen this. That's cool.
Not the advertisement.
Let's skip ads, thankfully.
Wait, where's like this part I saw? Wait a second. Where is it? It was like right there.
I think your audio is off on it though.
Yeah, I did. I turned it off.
Oh, okay.
But like this is like what this is for the monster.
It's so awkward to see somebody stand next to Godzilla. Like every time, it's so weird.
It's like watching, like, it reminds me of like the Ninja Turtles movies, just standing on the animatronics of the turtles.
I would love to see a movie with a salaryman that, like, not because I know they've done similar, but I would love to see a movie where a salaryman has to battle kaiju, but like he's just a giant salaryman.
This is okay, Godzilla 1984, but where's Biollante for this part? I have seeing footage of them trying to use puppets for like Biollante, but I can't find it. No. Yeah, I can't find it right now. Oh well, I'll probably send it to you guys later after this.
Oh no, yeah, I'd love to check it out. Yeah. But I think that would make a good movie. What do you think, Tyler? Just a salaryman battling kaiju?
Oh yeah,
just like, so. But like just an awkward salaryman just trying to grab buildings and whatever he can get a hold of to fight off like kaiju. I think would be the best. But he moves at his power would be the fact that he can move at normal speed. But like they're slow and stumbly and shooting things, but he can move at like regular camera speed.
That would make a great comedy.
Yeah, I think it'd be funny in manga or something. But yeah, I would love to see just some like almost like a what do they call it? Isekai kind of story, like an isekai story where they drop a guy into a world where he has to be a kaiju.
Right.
Just, it'd be great, man. Especially if he's a nerd that watches kaiju films, just trying to survive.
Now, I'm kind of curious. Like, I already know, like, what's like Ali's personal favorite stuff. Like, what's your favorite stuff for like the monster movies? Like, what's your top 5?
Top 5 monster movies. I would probably go with Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, the 70s version, and Terror of Mechagodzilla. Godzilla versus Destroya. Godzilla versus Space Godzilla, and Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2 in '93. What else? Biollante is another good one. The 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 King Ghidorah one from the '90s as well.
Oh yeah, it kind of was like Terminator in a sense for that one part. I remember.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you want me to mention some?
Sure, you can probably mention.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to interrupt, but for me, I mean, obviously the Gamera stuff that we already talked about. I wouldn't mind putting like 3 in my 5, just from that alone, honestly. And then Godzilla I already mentioned. The Violante is definitely in my top 5. I would say Destroy All Monsters. I'm a huge fan of that. And but one movie that nobody ever mentions that is particularly important to me is Big Man Japan. If you've never seen that movie.
No.
Big Man Japan?
No,
it's from like 2007. It's this really weird kind of satire of kaiju films where this giant, it's like a fake history about a giant Japanese man that battles kaiju.
Oh, I think I've seen a poster of that, but I haven't watched
Yeah,
it.
it's awesome. And he's just some buff dude with crazy hair and like a metal pipe. He's just a crazy buff dude with tattoos and a metal pipe. And he's supposed to be like this, like, he's almost like this tribal Japanese warrior that just like, and kind of has a little bit of that Yokozuna sort of sumo feel to it, like respect to the character. And he just becomes this big buff guy that just beats the shit out of him with a stick. Like that's it. He fights a bunch of like different, like really ridiculous looking kaiju, like freaky looking ones. There's like one that has like a salaryman head with like a long neck. I'm like it's a weird fucking movie, but it's definitely in my top 5.
There was a movie where there was like some sort of human-sized kaiju kind of thing. It was 1965 Frankenstein versus like Barugon, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And had like this sort of giant human Frankenstein monster fighting against this other monster, and had Nick Adams as the main character. And that was also kind of like that.
You want to know a really good kaiju TV series? It's really short, but it's really good. It's called Tekoki Mikazuki. It's such an underrated series. It's so good. Tekoki Mikazuki.
Tekoki. Well, what's the kind of basic plot to it, or what is it?
Like, okay, so like the plot, it's like I haven't seen it in a long time though, but I saw it like once actually, but it's a really good series.
Well, I'll check it out. That sounds cool. Just is there a chat on this? That way I could like, because I can't remember that name. I'm not remembering that.
Yeah, like go to the right side. There's comments. There's private chat. Put in.
Oh, okay. There's a private chat, and you can put links. Okay, cool. I've never used this particular. Speaking of kaiju, though, have you guys ever seen? Did you guys ever get into? I don't think it exists anymore. Maybe it does. Kaiju Big Battle.
No.
The wrestling. It's a wrestling. I guess troupe. That they dress up like kaiju and wrestle. Like in live, like on stage, and they actually battle each other as kaiju. If you just YouTube kaiju Big Battle, Is it Kaiju Big Battle? Yeah, it's Kaiju Big Battle. There's like dudes dressed up, just fighting each other as kaiju. It's hilarious.
Hold on, let me.
And then like they wear these awkward, hilarious, low budget suits.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Kaiju Big Battle, and you can just watch guys in ridiculous kaiju costumes just fighting each other and wrestling, like regular wrestling, doing wrestling moves, but they're wearing cool costumes.
I'm gonna try to get the volume for this video. Just 1 second.
Oh, it's hilarious, man, because they go all out, like just wrestling in the ring and everything, and they'll have like I think they've had cage matches and everything, and they have buildings in the actual. They put little buildings and shit.
Kaiju wrestling, that's just so awesome.
Yeah, and so it looks awesome because it's just guys in suits, and then there's buildings and stuff, and they fight each other. Look at this.
Here goes Super Wrong up on the turnbuckle. He's taking in the adulation of the female fans. Yo, now they're slicing each other up.
And they'll like dump each other on the little fake cardboard buildings and things.
Twisted episode of Soul Train.
Oh my god!
It looks like Sakaki was gonna reach around. And who could be?
Yeah, it's great for just kaiju fans that just want to see, and they'll pick up the cardboard boxes and throw them at each other, and then like sometimes they'll have like gimmick moves, like where they like shoot things or fireworks go off and stuff. And then oftentimes in the post edit, because I used to buy some of the DVDs in the post edit, they would like add special effects. So like it would like when somebody would get crashed, they would add like a fake explosion, like an After Effects explosion when somebody would get like, and it's just really goofy shit, but it's fun. It's fun, and you can tell it's just a bunch of nerds that love their kaiju films.
I'm gonna watch this episode once we're done with the stream.
Yeah, look it up. Look up the in general. Like it's got a long history. It's been around for a few years. I don't know if it's still around, but last I checked, it's still. I think they even still have a Twitter. It's kind of like the Rough and Rowdy, but of kaiju, I guess. Like it's just funny. It's just a bunch of people, and I think most of them are actually like not pro wrestlers, but they know what they're doing, so they try to put on a good show. Wow. And it's kind of funny to me because like it's a I feel like it's a fan base that probably crosses over more than we think.
Oh, Gamera versus the Giant Claw, huh?
The Giant Claw.
Yeah, it's like a giant bird.
Oh, isn't that really shitty, like a shitty old movie? Oh my god, that wasn't even a kaiju. That was an American flick, wasn't it? Or was that?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, the Giant Claw. I don't think it would last very long. Yeah, I think it was MST3K did that one, right, too?
I think so, but yeah, like they call it like a giant battleship.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at pictures now. I remember the Giant Claw, 1957. Holy shit!
Yeah,
it looks so stupid.
It's
great.
Like I don't have anything against like the practical effects because I really prefer practical effects over like CGI, but it looks obviously fake.
Oh yeah. I mean, they tried. Even for its time, it looks pretty bad. It's like what is it? A plucked turkey. They plucked it except for the wings. Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah,
I gotta watch this. I think I saw clips of it years ago.
Yeah, there's an episode from the Angry Video Game Nerd talking about this movie. It's just hilarious.
Oh my god, I haven't seen that fully completely, but this looks horrible. Did you find something?
No. It's just like the start of it.
This is what needs a reboot right here. This needs the Giant Claw needs to make a comeback. So they got to give it like a new remake. Oh, somebody made a fake remake poster. It's pretty funny for it. But I would love to see.
Can you share the
Giant
poster
Claw?
with us?
What happened?
Can you share the poster with us in the chat?
Oh, and I was looking at it on my phone, so let me see.
Oh, you're on your phone. Okay.
Nah, it's cool. I can find it. Hold on.
Okay.
It's actually a pretty cool poster. I was just looking for. Can you hear me? Okay, still?
Yes.
I hear you loud and clear.
All right, not too loud. I hope. There's a DeviantArt. There we go. It actually looks cool. Like, it looks like you could pull this off. How would I share it? Because I don't use this thing.
Okay, first you press like screen share.
Okay, hold on a second here. Want to make sure I don't have anything up that'll give me away.
Okay.
Yeah, let me close all my hentai tabs. All right, hold on. All right. So I'm just kidding. I wouldn't actually close them. I don't give a shit. I constantly like all my hentai on Twitter. So all right. So see here, entire screen share application window. I'm trying to do it, but it doesn't really let me click on it.
Don't worry. Like after the stream, I'll try to search for it.
Well, if you just type in giant claw DeviantArt poster or giant claw poster DeviantArt, you'll get it. It's like the first thing that pops up.
Okay.
It's just cool. They try to do it like a Shin Godzilla with the shadow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking giant claw. So stupid.
Oh my god, I see it. It looks like Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, they're trying to make it look cool. There's like another one that says IMAX 3D a little further down. The giant claw. What a stupid idea. I love it. You know, and what you were saying about practical effects, how they're much better in some respects. There's one of the instances in which practical effects, like it like literally hurt my soul what they did. Did you ever watch the Thing prequel?
Yes, I saw it. Yeah.
With the CGI and stuff.
Yes.
Did you ever look into the background about that movie?
No, I haven't.
It's the most tragic shit ever, dude. You need to watch it. There's a small documentary. I think somewhere you can find it on YouTube probably. But anyway, when you look at the behind the scenes, the guys who actually put together the effects for that we're using all practical effects initially. And then the studio forced them to add a layer of CGI to everything.
Wow.
And it's crazy because they'll show, if you watch the behind the scenes, you'll see clips from the Thing prequel before the CGI was plastered on, and it looks so much better. It looks so awesome because that's what they wanted. They wanted just to use practical effects as a callback to the original film. And then they just plastered CGI on it and ruined it completely. It's horrible. So then the guys who I forget their names, but the guys who put together that movie, I think out of sheer bitterness, they did their own movie where they used practical effects and did a science fiction kind of thing type story. But yeah, it sucked, man. Because when I saw the behind the scenes, I was so sad because it would have been such a great movie. It would have been such a fucking awesome. It would have been added to the list of movies that people love for sure because it was a cool movie minus all the shitty CGI.
Yeah, like what's the name of the movie that they end up making?
Shit, I can't remember right now. If you look at that, I would suggest watching the behind the scenes.
Okay.
Find out the guys' names, and they had some other science fiction movie that was actually pretty cool where it had like Thing inspired stuff, and they worked on the practical effects on that too. It didn't have the budget, obviously, as the studio film, but they tried to kind of basically do something different. And it's pretty awesome.
All right. So I guess we're going to probably stop the stream right here because we're getting way, 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 way off topic a little bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Do you mind if I shield myself a little bit here?
But no, before we completely sign off, I want you guys to give your final thoughts about the trailer. Then you can do like your social media stuff.
It looks amazing. It looks amazing. It's a beautiful, like a modernized take on the classic Ultraman. And I love the design of the original of the Shin Ultraman, as well as the CGI looking monsters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and my final thoughts about the trailer for Shin Ultraman is like it looks really serious. The music is really good. All the shot looks pretty awesome. And yeah, I cannot wait to watch it like on a service outside of Netflix because fuck Netflix.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Netflix adaptation of Gamera.
Oh,
that'll be super cool.
All right, but you guys can chill for your like social media and whatever, and then we can sign off from here.
Hi, I'm Allie RX. I'm a YouTuber. Even though I don't upload that often, but you can just check me out on youtube.com/AllieRX or just go on my YouTube channel right here on YouTube and just watch my videos. Last video I did was an episode of Awful Games. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Allie RX. You can follow me and pretty much any social media.
All right.
All right. Well, just final thoughts on the trailer too, since you had mentioned. I thought it was cool. I like the serious tone. I like the look of Ultraman. I like that they didn't alter his look very much. They kept it to the OG kind of look. The almost still looks like tights, which is awesome. And I dig that, like you had mentioned, that kind of rubbery sort of CGI look. I'm just hoping the trailer lives up to the hype. Once I watch the movie, and I'm hoping that it has a ton of fights, not just like a handful of fights and a bunch of exposition. In any case, my channel on YouTube is Schizoid Angst. My Twitter handle is at Schizoid Angst. I generally upload maybe every 3 days or so, every 4 days. My channel is mostly focused on the my personality disorder, which is schizoid. And I'm trying to like get people to learn a little bit more about it and talk to other people that have issues that are similar and stuff.
All right, and I guess from my social media, well, I already have my social media in the description, so.
Well, Tyler, we know who you are already.
But yeah. You can find me on social media at Tyler Preston 20 on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, any place. And,
By the way, a quick question that I've always had: is it 20 just because there's already 19 others? No, I'm actually curious. Like, I always wonder why the 20, because I thought maybe, like when you would try to get a gamer tag of some kind, it would fill in a number depending on how many people already took the name.
well, the username came about because obviously my real name is Tyler, and so I just wanted to add like Preston and 20 after that. It's like I don't know why.
Just okay. Oh, I like my story better. I thought it was just there was 19 other Tyler Prestons, and maybe you murdered them all. Like Android 20, like the 20th edition.
0102.
Yeah, I know all the failed prototypes 1 through 19. We got Tyler Preston 20.
Yeah. That's the history behind the username.
Yeah, I think that should be canon. I think we should just go with that.
Sure, why not?
That's way cooler.
But thanks you two for coming on. I really appreciate it. And also be sure to check out the social media accounts and channels of these people in the links in the description box down below. As always, take care, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream.
Yeah. Sounds good. Have a good day.